I wish good things to you who's watching this. I am Alexey, and with me today is a very special guest, Benjamin Ramos, joining us from New York, more familiar to some of you with his screen name Vamos Cosmos 719. So those of you, especially who are play Catan, must know Benjamin or Vamos very, very well due to his Catan performances. The most recent one, I know there's plenty of other tournaments that our viewers are not familiar, but the one that will be familiar will be the Mind Sports Olympiad. I believe you were fourth in 2022, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. So actually, it was So I in 2020. I actually finished second in Mind Sports Olympic Catan, and I actually won the Grand Prix in 2023. So yeah, 2023. Yes.
Oh,
So
so you did. Oh, so you did win it. Oh, awesome, awesome, awesome. Because that was
yeah.
just yeah. So you like had multiple
Yep.
podiums as well. So obviously, any Catan questions can be addressed to our guests. But of course, we're not here because of Catan. Ben is also an expert in Azul and Carcassonne as well, and a Carcassonne streamer as well on a different platform. You must have seen some of Ben's streams of Carcassonne Champions League 2024. That
Yep.
also included some of my matches, so now we've decided to team up for this one. And it's a special match indeed. We just have two incredibly strong players, two World Championship participants in 2023. Maxim Bazilyuk of Ukraine, currently residing in Canada, one of the 12 Ukrainian masters. Spectacular player, also very open, entertaining style, greedy point scoring, lots of farmers. And we're going to have on the other side Kai Michishita with the screen name Setsugentou, a very special player to me because he happens to be the first Japanese master with whom I ever played on Board Game Arena back when he was rated like in the upper 700, something completely ridiculous. So National Champion of Japan 2023 should be a matchup between two titans. This will be the lower finals of Qualification 1. So we will be saying goodbye to one of these people, sadly, but one of them will advance to the consolidated finals of the qualification bracket, where they will be facing the Portuguese player with a screen name Da Vinci something. We're going to have a look at that in the second. So you can actually see here the full brackets and the full histories of them. And then here, whoever wins today will be playing for a spot in the actual Champions League. So Ben, will you be a neutral commentator, or do you have any sympathies today?
I'll be neutral. I'll say both these players I played in arena a lot, and they've beaten me a lot of times. But they're both very talented players, I think. And like I said, it should be a battle of titans, like between these two higher ranked ELO players in Carcassonne. So I think we have a game now.
Already? Yeah.
Yep, we do.
So they're starting on time. We won't really have time to go through past of the previous journeys, but yeah, it's a double elimination system. It's pretty straightforward. So each of them have already lost one match, won all the others. In this system, you can only afford one loss, and they cannot afford another loss. The match is best of 3. That's pretty much all you need to know. So the Ukrainian player Bazilyuk with the green meeple is already 3 points on the scoreboard. Setsugentou with the patriotic red meeple color starts a new road to obstruct Bazilyuk's road. Both players are playing kind of fast. So
Yes, they are.
I would really expect from this game is that like Bazilyuk typically is a really fast player. Setsugentou and most Japanese players kind of not so much. They really like to explore these options. So now, for example, Red is really thinking hard where to place this Dorito tile. And this move will really show who this player really is, like what are their priorities. So you could, for example, go here on the right, start a new city,
I
or...
like that move there.
You like that move?
Yeah.
You would have done the same?
Yeah, no, I think I like that move just to block off, because I feel like the important thing with Carcassonne is just meeple management too. As the red gets a big 4-point city there, but yeah, I kind of like it just because I think the most important resource you have is meeples, and just doing that potentially the only way green could get the meeple is with the city with the straight row. So I like that. I like the move a lot just because of limiting that meeple there.
Yeah, and also I've kind of noticed in general that East Asian players tend to prioritize like meeple management a bit more than European players. So like bazilyuk, for example, he will be definitely quite happy sometimes to lose a meeple in order to score more points. Same goes for me. I sometimes even exaggerate that a little bit. And look, for example, as you said, Setsugentou now scoring his 3-point road and already preparing. Oh, that's interesting. So I didn't expect that from bazilyuk. I was just about going to say that you see that defense move over here, right?
Yeah.
Would you have done the same?
I mean, the thing was like you only need. The hard part is like you need 2 tiles really. It's like the CCCR tile and that straight road city tile. So I think actually you might have been okay just putting on the right there too, but I think he's trying to like hopefully get it back. But I think like the better play might have been putting on the right because like you already have a farmer there, so like you want to start building farmers that sit here. So I think that's optimistic, trying to hope to get the meeple back. But yeah, I think I would probably would hope to put it there on the right here too. So he gets in the farmer business here.
Yeah, and also not just the farmer, he's also kind of trying to obstruct the monastery a little bit. Or, you know, if green gets a curve that fits here or monastery that fits here, then it will be green who will be letting red into the field. So not only it is a farmer, it's also a very efficient one. And speaking of farmers, actually, it's probably not in really bazilyuk's interest to develop a big farm because currently he's more likely to be a meeple down because, as you said, this construction on the left is optimistic. The upside, of course, is huge, and I think now he's going to get it. Oh, awesome.
Ooh, he is going to get it. Yes, he is. That is actually pretty. He gets a huge tile, so he is going to get it back, too. I mean, let's see. I think there's there's still all 3 tiles 2 tiles left. So, but look at that farm there, though. Look at with the meeple advantage that red has. He's now attacking that farm right now.
Yeah, and I think that's exactly the reason why sort of he values this meeple management so much is because like it's not just about blocking one meeple, it's blocking and then using this meeple advantage to gain something bigger as a field in this case. So that's why sort of figuring that maybe bazilyuk, for example, that's an excellent move over here. So he's starting a new city, but he's starting a new city as far away from the main field as possible. So he's ready to just concede those 9 points and then try his luck in the other parts of the board. So he could maybe start a city at the top, get 4 points there, maybe build up his monstrosity on the left that he just constructed. It will be worth a lot of points even as a ruin, but it still has a decent chance of being completed. He only needs like a Dorito tile at the bottom to cover it up, and then slowly but surely try and keep adding points to it.
But look at the meeple advantage that like red has right now, 4-2. I mean, like. And a lot of like green strategy is very kind of slow burning. I mean, he's hoping to get that road back down below, but like it's kind of a slow burn where like red here can even score there and can start actually doing other stuff too, like getting roads and like building Zarios out. So like I kind of like red's pitching a lot here, especially with the meeples he has. And look at that, he's gonna get an 8-point city right there right now.
Yeah, the scoreboard lead has to hurt if you're a Ukrainian fan. Speaking of which, do let us know in the chat if you have any particular preferences, who you're rooting for, and who do you think you're going to win, which is not always the same thing. But look at this 8-point city. It's created something interesting. So the so-called evil hamster. Now, whoever draws the road monastery that fits here can get easy 8 and probably 9 points for the price of, well, 0 meeples, essentially. And there's also another road monastery spot over here, like at the top. There's technically one, I guess, next to bazilyuk's monastery as well. So, for example, if green draws these monasteries, that's like 9 points there, 9 points there. It will be 31 against 29, and he will already be in the driver's seat. So it's a very volatile position. A lot depends on these monastery tiles, which is probably what you want, actually, if you're a bit behind at the scoreboard. You certainly want to add variance.
Yeah, you do, but I think for right now, you just like the problem with bazilyuk, especially with that road, like he just has to put this road like basically somewhere to like that right there, just to build his monster. So it's kind of a slow burn. That's one important tiles there though that red just drew. That's there's one left in that deck that green needs, but look at that. So red here builds that. So oh no, that's worst case scenario.
Yeah. Okay, it's gonna be GG, I think, with that one.
Yeah, 42. Like that's kind of like when you put yourself in that spot early, when you have to rely on one tile like that, and I mean, granted, that's kind of lucky that green didn't get that tile, but like it when you don't get it, puts like such a bad spot right now. He's already lost one meeple, like two meeples actually technically too, and like now he's
about to lose a third. Like if Setsugentou, well, I'm shocked a bit. Like I think really.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I would have done that too. He should have lost a third. I'm shocked about that. I guess he's so ahead. That's why he did that. Just complete the city here too.
And he still doesn't want to block the monastery. I'm shocked about this because like road monasteries are pretty much. Well, I was going to say the only path back into the game. Yeah, well,
I'm shocked about that too. I'm very shocked about.
I don't like this one bit.
You're allowing bazilyuk to get the most important thing because meeple's back. Kuhn has won. And you could prevent it free on the board, but I think like he basically like it kind of gives him a chance to score more. Granted, red's such a big lead, it won't matter. Oh, he wastes his last meeple. Oh my god.
Actually, I like it. I love that.
I guess because it's pretty easy to get it back.
Yeah, that was exactly the idea, and also he realized like how urgent the field attack is, because he only got one of the two monasteries, and now he kind of spent his meeples on the places where he really needs to spend them. Oh, but he's gonna get blocked. He's gonna get blocked at the bottom. Let's see. So Setsugentou is preparing to block his farmer. Will he get a Dorito tile to do that? No, he does not. He just gets a simple curve. He could maybe just drop a farmer on at the top and try to reinvade. I think there's still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2 curves remaining. And he does exactly that. An alternative was just to simply grab a 7-point road over here and just forget about the farm and simply score.
Yeah, but he does go for the farm here too, which he has so many different. He could have done both ways, but I think he's had such a good lead too. Here, and this is actually a really good tile for red here. I think you just complete the monastery here and also create not just like another complete city, but another way to attack the field as well. Yeah,
it just comes with such a big threat, drawing a city cap, dropping a farmer over here, then maybe attacking the field, meepling this road, and so on and so on. So even if it's unsuccessful, it will force bazilyuk to spend a tile on dealing with that. So for example, imagine this. I mean, he goes over here, which I think I would have done in a heartbeat, but the Japanese player always like to check his options. And bazilyuk does not get a defense even. But a great move from the Ukrainian. It's actually setting up a block. So if he gets a Dorito tile, he can get his revenge. Yeah, he can do this, and he can do that right now.
There it is.
And the block is complete.
That's huge too. I mean, it also kind of creates an interesting thing here too, where there's another former entry point here too, as bazilyuk will complete the city here. So this is right there up top where that the reel is completed. There is another farmer entry point, but I feel like you do need the right tile to try to enter it, because like if you rely on a crossroad here, you kind of limit the tiles that you need to enter the field. But right now, bazilyuk here. Oh, interesting. He's going to go for the 4-point play here, too.
I don't like this one bit. I think there was a stronger move. First of all, he's going to lose his farmer, but I think he could have defended his farm and also dropped another one. He could have gotten his last meeple over here, trying to overrun this farm, 3 versus 2. I mean, he really needs every point he can get, and like he just cannot afford to lose meeples like this.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, that is a good entry point, too. So, yeah, that's actually really interesting. Like, it's for me, like, it's just like you kind of need, like I said, I think Carcassonne is a visual game too, that sometimes when, like, I think the big thing is like trying to visualize entering fields here too, and that's very defensive. But let me see, is there any Doritos left that help it out?
I don't understand anything, by the way. So bazilyuk does not get blocked, and then he still invades the field.
Yes, he does. Yeah,
what's that about? I think I know what's that about. It's just the Japanese player is trying to finish his city on the right, and there's still one
Yes.
Dorito tile that's left there. But like, if you're in the lead, why take the risk? Because like, all
Yeah.
bazilyuk needs to do now is just simply to draw the Dorito tile, and he's good. Yeah, then he's totally good. Like, he finishes the Monastery, he's up on the scoreboard again. And
Yeah.
the number of blocked meeples is the same, because Red has his 5-point meeple blocked at the top, Green has his 2-point road meeple, then there's this guy, and there's this guy. bazilyuk very deservedly draws the last Dorito, which means that this city is not going to be finished by
Ouch,
Red.
that's-
Let's see what he does with this.
It just seemed like Red seemed like he just became so passive because he felt like he had such an advantage, but then he became way too passive.
Yeah.
And he allowed a bunch of meeples back into play for bazilyuk here.
But a fantastic tile for Setsugentou, and probably a chance to get 4 points. I think the only thing he's thinking about the orientation is which way to get the crossroads. He can get that road. By the way, on the previous turn, I think bazilyuk could have prevented that. A move that I would have loved to see is just meepling this 7 or 6-point road as bazilyuk with his last meeple, but not gonna happen now, as 4 crucial points go to Setsugentou scoreboard. But finally a meeple back for bazilyuk, 2 meeples per side with 12 tiles remaining, +3 on the scoreboard for Setsugentou. A bit more points on blocked features comparison to bazilyuk, so slight lead still for the Japanese player. But if there's still city caps remaining, which I believe there are 1, 2, 3, 4, at least I can see 1 vanilla cap remaining. If bazilyuk can finish his meeple, that will be 3 extra points. Another meeple, he can maybe drop a 6-point farmer at the top, and this could get really, really close. Setsugentou just...
That's a good defensive move, though. I mean, you have the lead here, so...
Yeah.
Is there any other way to enter the farm? I think it'd be very hard.
There is, but like this way, he definitely saw what this move did. As you said, really, it's really defensive. It took away an entry point to the farm.
Yeah.
There are the ninja farmers available. I think there's still some curvy tiles, namely 1 curve, I'm not mistaken. Let's just check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, there's 1 curve remaining. So maybe if we just go over here at the top and then try to invade like this is also possible. But then also we need to remember that the field is just 9 points.
If I was in Basel, interesting orientation.
It's the best orientation because he knows that the remaining caps are all, or at least the majority of those are field caps. He just doesn't quite get the tile just yet. Ideally, of course, he would have wanted the tile that Setsugentou just got for his points, because the threat of Green is to go up top and finish the city and drop a 6-point farmer, which would put him in the lead. But now a big dilemma here for Green. Do you go for the most efficient point scoring move, adding this extender to your city and already dropping a farmer, going for a lot of points but also exposing your city to attack or to a block? Or do you just patiently add 2 points to your ruin on the left and then wait for a better tile to accomplish that? Or maybe you just want to take the 5-point ruin at the bottom and then try to deploy your last meeple somewhere else. What are your ideas, Ben?
I think that's the right play because, granted, that's a very unlucky tile, but it basically requires you to get that vanilla tile. So, he is a little behind, though, too. That's a great 4-point road. So, actually, more I think about it, though, you might have to go... Oh, he would have gotten it, though. But he does get a big farmer.
Yes, and that's the best possible tile for him, because he's also... Not only will he get these 6 points, he actually has a chance to get more points, but it is Setsugentou who gets the vanilla tile and will get more quick points.
Yes, he does.
But 2 meeples still for bazilyuk and some high-scoring features. There's a 7-point road available on the right, but he doesn't get it. Instead, he goes for the farmer, and there's still tiles available to connect to the field.
There's still tiles.
There are still tiles.
Let's see. There's an interesting decision here. Is there a curve left, or let's see?
There is 1 curve available. Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No straight roads remaining. How about crossroads? No crossroads. So I think it's really just the curve. Yeah, I think it's just the curve. So it's going to be 50-50 for the field connection. This farmer will be already scoring 3 points, and if Green successfully connects, these would be 9 extra points.
I think this is game for bazilyuk if he gets this. I think he just adds on.
And he does!
That's huge! He does! That's huge! And And red here, see what he does here.
I guess 4
I
points
think
at the bottom.
4 points bottom. That's like the only thing I could do. Yep, 4 points at the bottom.
And bazilyuk even gets another cap!
Oh, that's huge! Oh my god!
That's 7 points! Wait, so that was actually a mistake for the Japanese player. It was totally preventable. Instead of taking the 4-point ruin, he should have taken the 3-point field at the top. With the city caps facing sideways, blocking that opportunity for bazilyuk, this would have netted him a couple of extra points. I don't think this would have saved the game, given that he's lost the big field. So let's just see what the scored point difference is.
You're counting it down right now? This is massive here. It's just I feel like red was so passive. I don't think it matters though, because I think there's nope, it's not. So yeah, so all right, Sunken wins this game.
Wait, how? Why did he?
But the monster. The monster. I think Setsugentou had a big enough lead to win this. I thought too that
I thought that there was game for bazilyuk. How interesting. Yeah, I think it's just this 6 monastery plus the 4-point ruin at the end. They did really add up a little bit, and just all these quick points. But
that game was a lot closer than it should have been.
yeah, that's true. You know, like we flip 1 quick point tile and bazilyuk wins. Still extra like great effort on the part for Ukraine coming back, and a little bit sloppy from Setsugentou. Like he had no business losing this game. I mean, he didn't lose, granted, but our Japanese fans definitely were more worried than they needed to be on this one.
And the crazy thing is, if he just put that tube there and taking the risk, bazilyuk would have won this game here too.
Oh, that's true. You're right.
Yeah,
well, actually, would he? No, he would have gotten just one. He would have netted just 1 extra points actually. So it wasn't that big of a deal.
Well, four extra, but yeah. No, but 4 extra.
It was just 1 extra. You know why? Because he already got 2 points from the tube. Instead of 4, so he got 2 points less, but he would also be adding 2 point. No, actually, he would be adding 1 point extra to Red's monastery.
Yeah.
So that's why it's just a 1 point difference.
So, but the second game has already started here, and they're going They're going really fast, like you said.
Yeah.
Green plays real fast here.
I expected this from bazilyuk, but well, I guess maybe some easy decisions for Setsugentou. I mean, look at this fantastic monastery in the center, like.
Yes, right there, about to complete here.
Also threatening another city, and Setsugentou and bazilyuk can't attack. I love that move here from Red, invading the city of Green instead of completing his own. Yeah, of course, he's going to be trying to reinvade as he should. But you know what? A move that maybe I would have considered as green is blocking the monastery, which now has been successfully liberated.
Do like Japanese players? Like, because I do love the block. I think it's kind of one I value meeples a lot. Like, if I'm playing with someone, like if I could limit somebody's meeple from any back, I like to do it. So do Japanese players value that, or do you think
quite a bit? So like the top-rated Japanese players actually value it a little bit less. And you, for example, if you study like any Rabbit Rain games, I mean, he's just sometimes gonna place. If there's enough of an upside, he's going to make moves which risk like 2 meeples getting blocked in 1 move. But then if they don't get blocked, he just gets so many points that it sort of justifies the risk. The majority of Japanese players do value it a lot, and this can definitely yield some positive consequences. You know, this can result in better chances for field control, and obviously the more meeples you have, the more options you have.
It seems like the players are playing kind of their own game at the moment, completing features like that city up there on top for green, and then Setsugentou with the road up top there. So I think they're just they're minding their own business at the moment, in my opinion here too. As another city gets completed for green here.
Yeah, it's very much like the opposite of a previous game where, you know, they just each doing their own thing. Oh, but what a farmer here for Setsugentou.
That's a big farmer.
Yeah.
And blocks off that city too.
Yeah. bazilyuk now. drops a farmer of his own and tries to block Red City. Interesting how that will work. And I think he's banking on the fact there are only 3 tiles remaining that fit into that square.
I'm usually not a fan. Like, so I get the farmers becoming very fruitful, but like you just let it open city cap, and Sensu's gonna take advantage of it right now. So
but actually, the open city cap here is perfect because Setsugentou can't really productively take advantage of it. If he takes the 4 points,
that's true.
Then he's gonna pay the price. He's gonna get his meeple block. He's gonna create a blocking platform against this. But if I'm Setsugentou, I'm still doing it.
Would you point up? I think you point the city up top.
City up top, yeah, just so that
the city cap up top, yeah.
Because obviously road tiles are harmless. It's really the city tiles that are harmful in this situation.
Yeah. Oh, he doesn't though. He just decides to do farm. That's a very aggressive farm there.
Yeah. Well, do you see? Like it's basically going all in. It's trying to complete the city and connect into the farm through the city. He's now trying to build another city at the bottom. bazilyuk is getting his own. Will Setsugentou defend towards a 50-50 or not? It's very interesting here. So the idea is this. Like, if he places this tile over here next to his city, then he guarantees himself a 50-50 shot because there's one of these starting tiles remaining, one of these bad boys. But ideally, you want to give yourself as many options as possible, and there's still 2 barbed wire tiles, two of these city caps. But if you don't go there right away, what bazilyuk could do, he could get another city tile and go over here and block this completely.
I think, like, in my opinion, just the odds of green getting like a big city tile, I think that's the right play by red here. Just so, because like I feel like there's time to give yourself more options here. Like you could complete it with 2 different tiles here too. Granted, it's kind of running out a bit, but I think right now I'd rather give myself 3 chances to get it than 1 here. Oh, the farmer's getting attacked here though.
Yeah, and finally the defense for Setsugentou. Yeah, so he was being patient. Kind of a bit risky, but now there's a 75% chance. There's still 2 tiles available that fits into that square. Yeah. Well, last game, we had the positions reversed, but bazilyuk needed 1 of 2 tiles for a particular square, and Setsugentou drew both of them. Let's see now if bazilyuk can draw both of the Japanese players' tiles.
We'll see here. But because I think bazilyuk, he's now like in the opposite position. He now has a lead here too with a farm. With farm control here, so
pretty much, yeah. But look at this, the city at the bottom is creeping in. There's still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 3 Doritos remaining to complete that city. Will it be possible? bazilyuk creates an attacking platform against that city. Setsugentou with a simple curve. Can't really do anything about that city.
Does he defend though and limit his ability?
I don't think you do, because there's something more urgent. I think we add this to the monastery, and we get a monastery point, and also we prevent bazilyuk from finishing his 6-point city and dropping a farmer there up top on the left.
And preventing a farmer and also denying another farmer entry point here too. That's the right play. And that's the right play too. Let's see. There's only 1 tile I think left.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a 50-50 there. It's a 50-50 there.
As Setsugentou, do you want to take 3 quick points, or do you want to take something more aggressive? So one option that I'm seeing instead of the 3, so he does the 3 points. But I'm also looking at this road, this long road that goes through Red City. So maybe if we add a crossroads here at some point, we can pre-build a 5 or 6 point road going through the city for like extra value when it completed.
That's what I was thinking too. Like, let's see, he is behind a farmer, so he needs to manufacture points in a big way too. And like one way to do that is to actually like pre-build that road where eventually, like if you built it as like a big like 5 or 6 point road, you need as much points as possible, because right now you're behind in the farm and in the scoreboard too. So I think, I was thinking about that too. But the risk is though, if you put green can also if he gets a straight road, like the risk of him just putting it there and negating everything too. That's also the big risk too. So I think it is a big risk, but he gets it.
He
gets the
gets
road.
it. Would have gotten extra road points had he gone for the risky option, but
Yeah.
he realizes it, and now he's ahead on the scoreboard. He equalized the field because he snuck his farmer in. Bazilyuk, although, gets the coin for Dorito, and what a miss from Bazilyuk! Oh, come on. That's a big, big miss. You never connect to that city. You always block that city because it's not a lot of points.
Yeah, I agree. And now, now the tables are turned. Now he tries to connect safe, but look, he has that tube there, and now he attacked the city. Legit, yeah. That was a big mistake there.
Yeah. Oh,
But look at that. Look at that. He's even saying in chat though. Oh my God, I think that might have been a misclick.
Yeah, he says what I
just
did.
realizing his doom here. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's,
Well, I think Doom is a bit too premature. Doom is a bit too premature, right? Because he can still win this, right? It's just kind of hard, but essentially what this move did is because you kind of just wasted a meeple. Because not only, I mean, he's attacking a city which already blocked. Had he blocked the city, he would actually be setting up a very nice 12-point city for himself on the right.
Yeah.
And then Red would need to try and do something about this. Now, Reds actually could just, as you said, could reinvade this and renew the threat of a big city belonging to Red. So yeah, but this is just goes to show you.
That's a very safe play, though. That's a
Is
very
it?
safe.
Yeah, I mean it is, but like, I'm safe or chickeny.
Yeah, that's yeah. I think more that because I think he just had a chance now, but now like if green gets an end cap, like obvious play is just to end the cap, and then he had the meeple advantage. Like he didn't need, but he's gonna do instead of raid that farm. Oh, we have a farm ballot here, Alexey.
We do, but I think there's a better invasion spot over here on the right with 6 points already on the field.
And
I'm
that's
not
what
sure if it's
green
better
does.
actually. Yeah.
Well. Yeah, they're both. I think that in terms of entry points, they're both kind of the same though. But
Greens is better. Greens is better, and Greens already in the field.
So it's 6-1 field. It's 6-1 field. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
okay.
since who gets it? Ooh, that's a big city.
It says 6 points, but it is enough to put Bazilyuk ahead on the scoreboard. +4 for the Ukrainian. Will Setsugentou drop another farmer over here? He has a tile to do this. He can actually sacrifice the 4 points, take the city at the bottom, just complete it, and drop a farmer over there. And I think he does it. He's not going to go for the city. He goes for the field. Bazilyuk now with some problems, but he has actually multiple field attacking points. For example, over here is an option. I believe there's still one monastery left, the road monastery, so we can go over here, hope for that, like this on the right, on the very, very right. There are a variety of options. We can even go crazy and go over here for this 3-point field in the center, hoping for a road monastery recover, but instead he simply takes the points first to create another attacking platform, and then he plans to drop a farmer on the next move, but Setsugentou with the road monastery, he will connect immediately. Yes. I think.
Well, that's what you think. You just don't know funny business, but he might be also thinking too, like with 3 tiles left for green here, does he try to like delay it? Would you delay here or just try to go for it right away here too? I mean, I wouldn't mess around usually, but yeah. Let's see.
What do you mean by not mess around? You mean like connect immediately?
Yeah, connect immediately. Yeah.
Yeah, it does seem to be the safer approach. Although, like, well, now that I think about this, if we connect immediately, okay, we do spend a valuable scoring tile, and what green's gonna do, he's just gonna drop a farmer here and reconnect in all likelihood.
Yeah.
And so I think before doing so, we should actually count the tiles and see what are green's field reconnection options. And then decide whether we connect immediately, or maybe we take 3 points, or maybe we just make another move, maybe eliminating a field connection platform in the future, or maybe we go crazy and we drop another farmer somewhere. So let's say if we drop a farmer here on the right, I see multiple curves available. Yeah, so he just goes for the quick points.
He just goes for the quick points because right now he is a little bit behind. Like I said, free here, but in the this is actually gonna be really close here.
It's gonna be really close, yeah. Because Bazilyuk is a bit behind in this mini battle because like Red has 7 points for the city and Bazilyuk has 4 from his side.
Yeah. 4 from side. But the monster there is eight for green and 7 for red there. So
Yeah.
this is, but we got the free. Oh, there's.
Is that a block? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait, where's the 9th curve? What am I not seeing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, that's fine. It's completely blocked.
It's a block, yeah.
It's completely blocked.
But there's and not a good tile for red here. So I mean, it is a 6-point field though. So
yeah.
So he's still.
Reds can now take a 5-point ruin, for example, and just try to run away with the scoring opportunities. But he's spending his last meeple. I'm not sure if it's worth doing just yet.
But 2 more tiles here too. But what are the other scoring opportunities? Like you run the risk of. I mean, if you like say you could throw the ruin out too, but like, I mean, with green having 2 meeples, he could. Yeah, this is actually a little bit tough spot here too.
So the main scoring opportunity appears to be this 6-point field at the top. It's very small, but if we just get any row tile, we get 6 points.
Yeah.
So actually, if Setsugentou cannot take it, he can say, well, if I can't take it, nobody can take it. And by placing this tile over here, he can either block or severely restrict the options for both players to meeple this field in the future. Because at the moment, Setsugentou is slightly ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, it is blocking up. He does do that too. There is that 5-point ruin there too. So what does green do here? He has the advantage of having 2 meeples, so he can be very versatile in playing this tile here too. There's no end caps here, so he could throw this meeple down. Goes for the 5-point ruin.
Yeah, that's an option.
It also kind of blocks off like an entry. It kind of does block off a little entry point here too. So. Yeah, I think 5-point ruins to play here, but how far is he behind here right now?
Just a couple of points. So like +5, +6, 0, 3 points behind. So if he takes the ruin, he's gonna be 2 points ahead overall.
Is he thinking of a really risky? Is there any monsters left? No.
No monasteries. I think he's thinking of maybe how often does he win if he gets the ruin? Because and he does take the ruin after all.
He does.
Setsugentou can now threaten the field invasion.
He could
go on the left because like this square was blocked at the bottom, but there's still this route over here.
I think you do that. He does do that.
And this forces bazilyuk to probably drop a farmer there. Because I believe there must be one more straight line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No more straight lines. No more straight lines. And a fantastic tile for bazilyuk, which gives him quick points and a chance to get a meeple back. The last remaining tiles are city tiles.
That is done, and only a 4-point scoring. So I think this is Green's game here.
It's Green games, and we're gonna see a decider.
This is what we were looking for. Funny how he almost, like I said, he has a oh my god in terms of like pointing that Dorito to the city here, but he managed to recover here. I think he gets his game 2 here. So let's see. This is.
I think he's just now like the Japanese player, probably trying to look desperately for some opportunity to do anything in this game. But I don't see any farming platforms at all, and he can't score enough because he's down 7 points at the moment. Like you can get 4 and you can get your 5th points at the end, but that's about it. And bazilyuk's still gonna have a meeple after. Yeah.
So I don't see any ones. Yeah, there's only I think the only one is that 4-point ruin on the right, on the left there. So yeah, this should be. I think this should be game, set, match here for red here, going the 3rd game here. He's now taking his time here, Alexey. Think about what his movie.
I think that's the thing I really like kind of about most Japanese players, their ethics. So most of them tend not to concede games, with just a couple of exceptions, and they really like to solve the end games. So like even if it doesn't matter, he's still trying to come up with a sequence that nets him a maximum amount of points. And wait, oh, that's a field farming points.
That's only 3 though.
Yeah, but if there's a curve, which I don't think there is, he could connect into the main field. But wait,
Okay,
wait.
there was a.
Is there a Dorito of the road? 1, 2, 3, 4. No. No, there isn't. He scared me.
What?
He scared me.
No, oh, that did.
So if there were a curve, then this 4-point road would be completed, and this farmer on the left would sneak into the main
That
field.
would be crazy. That would have been insane. That's insane. You could find that too. I mean, but I think with that, like, so you have to find for any possible move there too. But
yeah, and also I think I could have.
20-something.
Yeah. I understand that move from the Japanese player because it says, okay, like I can't win the game, so my only chance is to assume and to hope that maybe I miscounted the tiles and maybe there's actually is a curve to connect. But of course, both players know that there isn't. Bazilyuk didn't even bother trying to block, although he didn't really get a tile to block. And +6 for the Ukrainian. So again, a back and forth game. Yeah, and as usual, the big field being tied, and we see how the Ukraine is like always proactive on the field. He was always like, he was trying to not get behind by more than one farmer, so that he can always equalize with just a sequence of 2 tiles.
Yeah, like the Japanese, like he was the first to get to that farm, but you can see with that farmer building more cities there, and he eventually, Bazilyuk was able to actually overtake that with the 2 and really just. He's take control of that field here too to win that game here too. But we're going to a game 3.
And both players are already playing fast and already have scored some quick points. 5 monastery for Bazilyuk, 3-point road for Bazilyuk. That's very nice for green, but 4-point score advantage for Setsugentou. A not so impressive city that's controlled by the green's monastery. And a very open position, lots of green squares. We are going to see a farmer being dropped soon enough. Possibly even at this turn, on this turn. An idea of like going over here and dropping a farmer is certainly not beneath Kai here.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it goes into just like with when you place a tile. When you place a tile, I think the point for it is like how does a block artificial feature? Because now with Setsugentou, if you place it down below like we're expecting here, he does not. He tries to complete the five more. That actually, but it wouldn't matter any. But now look at that. Now green gets that city, and now he starts developing that farm. So, yeah. I think we're hoping for the ideal play there, but green gets that farm starts farming now. So
well, for now, green just gets the small bits of the farm, so there's still time for Setsugentou to actually claim the main farm. Eventually, everything will be connected, and the 2 farmers will be equal. And also, only 6 points on that farm, so there's no great urgency just yet. I don't think he'll be farming with this move. I think as the Japanese player will be taking that juicy shielded tile so kindly provided to us by Bazilyuk.
Yeah. So, but Bazilyuk is also trying to invade the city up top here too. So.
Yeah, that makes sense as well.
Yeah.
Although,
would you try go ahead?
No, you go first.
Would you try to protect with that city cap? Try to prevent something like this from happening, as Bazilyuk prevents their connection and gets 4 points, and red gets only 2. So I was thinking like with the end cap, put it there to protect the road because that was the intention with putting that road there to get the 5 points.
Which end cap? This one, like the one which...
You're right there, yeah.
Yeah. Probably I wouldn't because it was still possible to block off this road from the left, like with a straight line.
Yeah. And
also, like, this is really not the best situation for green to be in because green currently is about to connect to red city, but green is still in a losing mini battle with one meeple with 1 point versus 3.
But here's an interesting play here too. So this kind of goes back to the first game here too with that monastery road. Since he goes for the points, but now it does allow Bazilyuk to put a city tile there to prevent it from getting closed off there.
Yeah.
So I think he would try to block off that meeple.
And that wouldn't be a try. That would be just a full block if we put it over here. He decided that the 5 points, the 4 road points and one monastery points were worth more. But I don't think that's the. You know what? I think here I kind of agree because there's some scenarios if we use that monastery to block. then what can happen is red can sometimes get blocked on that square where he just put the monastery. Remember that situation in the first game where green needed the starting tile, and this would be the same situation over here, just with colors reversed. Oh, what a great monastery from bazilyuk, controlling 2 monasteries of Setsugentou. So now red, of course, will be building up those monasteries because it is in his interest to get those 2 meeples back. And as compensation, bazilyuk is going to be freeloading with a couple of extra monastery points of his own.
Yeah. The flip side is, actually no. Anytime that bazilyuk builds one, it would just be 1. I was thinking it might have been 2 at times, but another monastery for Setsugentou. Look at that's a really good monastery.
Yeah,
so that didn't really work out.
Advantage.
That didn't really work out because now every time bazilyuk builds that monastery, it's 2 points for red here.
Yeah, but that's what bazilyuk is just going to not do anything. He's just gonna wait. That's the whole point of this monastery over here. Yeah. So he's gonna at least get like a lot of points of compensation for the 3 monasteries of red. And also, like, he's trying to be really efficient with his scoring. He has now consolidated the main field. It has 2 cities only, but a lot of green squares for development. And now this field has no entry squares. And green could maybe like drop a city cap over here at some point on the right, then drop another city cap, complete that city, get the city to 9 points, and just try to get the compensation from monasteries in a variety of ways like this.
There's a tube out there, so now the Japanese is thinking here. I would probably attack that city. Would you?
At the bottom?
You could maybe on the bottom, but more ideally up top.
That's interesting. I'm just
because you're gonna get that monastery back there on the top right, more than likely.
Probably, yeah. And we do need to do something. And also, if we create a big city for fighting, it would kind of negate the big field. So we could definitely do that. I was just going to say that I don't like attacking the city at the bottom.
No.
Because it's
you would have gone in there too, so that would have been I might have attacked there.
So he decides to just use his meeples for other things, and now great tile, 3 points for reds, also pre-finishing his monastery. But bazilyuk with a straight line, 9 points for the monastery, 5 points for the road that he pre-built for himself. That was also a very nice tile placement earlier on. And the scoreboard lead for the Ukrainian for the first time in this game. Setsugentou, 2 quick points, and 9.
Coefficient.
Yeah.
That's what I also call efficient. Well, less, but yeah.
That's still quite efficient, like, because he was getting those quick points for the road and building up the monastery at the same time. The same is true for both players.
Yeah.
And interesting move here from bazilyuk.
Well, it worked out because it actually prevented an attack from red here.
Yeah, but red is now trying to block instead.
A different type of attack here.
Yeah, but it's less of a big deal because, like, even if red is successful, let's say red gets a straight line, places over here, then green's still gonna have 2 tile that fit into that square because there's still 2 right-handed daggers still remaining.
Yeah.
So yeah, very, very nice kind of self-block, partially or self-restriction that is actually a defense. So yeah, because at some point, so you mentioned a lot like how much you value meeples, and the Japanese player certainly agrees with that. But at some point, the feature is worth so much that you start caring more about not sharing those points with your opponent rather than not getting it blocked.
I'm interested what red does here with the starting tile. I might create a defense move here.
A defense move? You mean
but
like
the bottom of the city to do the right? That's what I was thinking.
This one, yeah.
But doesn't put a city there though.
But that's because but that's exactly because it's one of those situations with the city cap pointing outwards. Only red can benefit from that city cap because a green will not be using that city cap because he does not want to expose the blocking platform. So that worked out very nicely. Although actually, as Setsugentou, I wouldn't have done that. I would have taken the 4 points at the top over here, and then later try to use a road tile or something to block. But he figured that there's so many regular city caps with the field remaining that we want to be just much, much quicker with the block, and so far it appears to be working out. He's now building up his own city, but bazilyuk, oh, look at this fantastic sequence. He managed to block 2 of his opponent's monasteries, whilst he's only blocked with 1 monastery. And
no, that monastery can still go. Oh, but look at that attack there.
Oh, right, you're right. That in theory, of course, the monastery of red can still be liberated, even though it requires a dagger. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But that city is gone there in the bottom right, though. So that city is gone there, the bottom right.
Yeah. So the one that you suggested attacking for red when red had the meeples to do it, and green's going, okay, you don't want it, I'm gonna take it.
Yeah, and he needs to because he's behind the scoreboard right now, and with that field they're not producing enough complete cities. Yeah, that he kind of yeah. So yeah, I do like Sensu's position here a little bit more here, but that's a way to climb back into this game. 3-point road there.
Yeah, and look at this. So basically Setsugentou not even trying to reinvade the city, he's just simply trying to prevent the disaster scenario. He's just trying to prevent it from completion. So he actually might even use the city cap. Oh no, I mean he's just gonna free up his monastery. I think that's the reasonable thing to do here.
That's the reasonable thing to do here. So does he place a city? Place a meatball in that city though.
Nah, it's too vulnerable, and it's not even the best city in the position. There's the city of the same size at the bottom.
Yeah, green only has 1 meeple left, so I feel like that's a risk for the Ukrainian here to put a city down. So, but I feel like you have to finish off your monastery. So you have a really good lead right now. So he lost out in the city, but he still has like a good lead in scoreboard. Yep, he does it. Yep, and he does what he said. Doesn't put a maple in the city. The very vulnerable city. This is looking really good. Look at this. Another complete city. 4 meeples and I think a 24-point lead in scoreboard. Looking really good for Setsugentou right now.
Yeah, and like bazilyuk city on the left is great, and it's totally worth the meeple investment, but it's just not going to be enough. It's like 15 points at most. So bazilyuk is even now taking desperate measures because he will now be having to play in all likelihood with just 1 meeple until the end of the game, unless he draws the splitter tile and can separate his meeple at the bottom. Yeah, and so he now he can't even afford to meeple this loop road. He's basically just pre-building it and hoping to get a curve and get those 4 points.
And look at and now with red having 4 tiles in hand, he could actually put the city, and even though it's probably gonna be ruined city, still like he has enough meeples to have other scoring. And look at that pre-built road there, not good, but really good for the Japanese here.
Taking advantage of green's meeple situation.
It's interesting because like you mentioned that road meeple to block off both of the monsters is actually not worked out for the Ukrainian here, because now like he's a problem with his like the meeple situation right now. So.
Yeah, although I still like that idea, and at least he managed to block off 1 of the monasteries. He did get some compensation for the 4 monasteries that red drew, so there's a bit of an imbalance here. 2 monasteries for green and 4 monasteries for red, and red just knows how to capitalize on that. You know, now also dropping a farmer, which will not be contested because bazilyuk simply does not have that option. And then now that you look at this position, then you kind of start questioning those early farmers, because that guy, as lovely as its chances looked, still stranded here with 6 points. As a result, bazilyuk is playing half the game with just 1 meeple. Then Setsugentou has all this advantage, all this temporary meeple advantage, takes care of these roads, meeples a city, and then at the end of the game, he also meeples a 6-point field just for a much, much lower price.
Yeah, it kind of go like we were wondering about the decision about like, should he attack the city here too? I mean, but like the end game here has gone to red's way, just in terms of like the way how the tiles are played out, bringing back meeples from monasteries or cities. Yeah, it's definitely worked out, and that's the tile that I think bazilyuk needed, but his opponent got it, unfortunately.
Well, the Ukrainian's still fighting on. He doesn't get the best tiles. He gets some blocking tiles, though. And, for example, look at what he's done at the bottom here. So he does continue with that idea of pre-blocking red sides of the city, and he still hopes to draw a splitter tile to score a bit more and free up his meeple and maybe meeple some more features.
That's, yeah. Is either that one or, yeah, so that was...
Yeah, Setsugentou just gets more farmers.
Just getting all the right tiles at the right time.
And just city cap, munching on those quick points. But finally something for bazilyuk, a 9-point move, 6-point city, plus a bit of something for his field.
It's gonna be too little too late, though, unfortunately. So, see here... So prevents it. That's actually a great move.
Yeah, great.
Look at that.
Move.
That was such a. I was thinking just like 1 point up top, but like that prevents a city completion and but of great. I love that tile. That's my favorite tile in the game.
Really, the splitter or the cow tile? You mean the one that bazilyuk has in hand?
Yeah, the one's blue. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
At first I thought you meant like the one that Setsugentou had, and I thought that was
no,
unconventional choice. Yeah.
It's a CCR, a CCFF tile. Yeah, it's one. It gets you out of sticky situations, and also like it could put you in attacking position for like a city or something like that. But yeah, this is looking like it's going to be. Once we get through his game here, he's going to move on to the next round, looks like.
Yeah, and sadly we will be saying goodbye to bazilyuk. I mean, who still, to his credit, tries to really fight to the end. And his plan with the splitter, by the way, it absolutely worked out. He did get his meeple back. Yeah, way too little. But I mean, he's still like, that's only so much as you can do with one meeple. And Setsugentou just getting those quick points, like 4 points per tile, 4 points per tile. I think he did it like 5 times. That's already 12. That's already 20 points. And as lovely as the city on the left looks, it will just not be enough. So commiserations to bazilyuk and all our Ukrainian fans. Congratulations to Setsugentou and all our Japanese fans. Yeah, so Kaimi Chishite here, Japanese champion of 2023, is just trying to be polite in the chat and acknowledging his lucky draws. I wouldn't say that like super lucky. Well, definitely what helped a lot Red was these 4 monasteries, 4 back-to-back monasteries that Green could not really do all that much with. And
I mean, that part of it that is fortunate. Like I said, drawing even 4 and able to basically score pretty much the max points you can. All those monasteries, like that's pretty fortunate.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, it's also, of course, it requires you to place in all the right places. But you know, at this level, players already know how to do that. And no, that's the thing. So part about is getting lucky. About the other part is to actually know how to take advantage of your luck. And the higher the level, the better the players are doing just that. And you also, I think about this last game, you really can't fault Maxim for much. Like, kind of did a lot of efforts, conquered the ruin on the left, made some setups for freeing up his meeples and developing his field, which worked. It's just like all wonderful ideas. It's just none of that was enough.
Yeah, it just like it showed how meticulous Jeff Setsugentou was with his playing. Like, we were wondering if he should attack the city, but like from like the second half of the game, he was able to take advantage of scoring opportunities with like his 4-1 or 3-1 meeple advantage that he had too. So very impressive how meticulous he played that like second half of the game.
Yeah, so look, I mean, he got like these 6 points over here and these 4 points over here. Yeah, like a bit unlucky for him that none of the road setups works, because Setsugentou ended up scoring for this one and for this one as well at the top. But yeah, you know, like sometimes what happens if you're behind, so you're supposed to risk and do these setups, but if you don't get the draws, then you fall even further and even further behind. So every time it's, you know, like if you're playing roulette, you're kind of, it's always like double or nothing. So you're forced to gamble more and more and more and more after each turn, and at some point you just can't catch up.
Yeah, it's kind of like you're already behind. So like, what's the point of like saving that meeple? Like if if you're not gonna use it as, I mean, granted, it was only like 4 point scoring opportunities to have like say like a good city for like 8 or 10 points, but like yeah, it's kind of like you're already falling behind. Like why not gamble and like play it? Like I said, it's a little bit risky, but like the end result is like you're ending up in defeat anyway, so why not risk it? But
Well, yeah. Just a couple of interesting points. So what we're going to do afterwards, we're just gonna to look through the brackets and see what awaits these players next. Do a bit of a preview of the next matches. But before, I just wanted to address. So you mentioned that the splitter is your favorite tile, right?
yeah,
So you'd be pleased to know that Carrie Alley, the captain of Team USA,
oh, Mingo,
yeah, she did a statistical analysis of like hundreds and hundreds of games from the World Team Carcassonne Online Championships. And that analysis showed that the splitter is the second most useful tile in the entire set of Carcassonne tiles. Try to guess what was the first, what was the most useful tile. Maybe somebody in the chat can also get that. So when you talk about
useful in terms of like scoring opportunities, or are you talking about like just
useful in the sense that the player who drew that tile was more likely to win. So for example,
huh? Go ahead. Yeah, I'm gonna say Monastery River Road.
Bingo, you got that. Yeah.
That's good.
So it was Monastery of the Road, and the second one, interesting, wasn't a regular monastery. And a regular monastery was actually surprisingly low. It was kind of like neutral. It was sort of in the middle of the pack. So that road ends up to make so much difference. And then the second one was Splitter. And those two, the monastery and the Splitter, particularly the sideways Splitter, the one that you like, those two are like miles ahead of all the other tiles in terms of their utility.
And that kind of makes sense too, because like, especially with like the Monastery Road, you like say you could win it in like a Nebelhamster like situation, but you could also win it in different ways too, like gaining on Monastery, connecting different fields when like that's like the only tile you need. So yeah, it's like when you get that tile, like the effect it could have and that in the playfield could be massive in terms of like the different ways it could affect. So yeah, that makes sense in my opinion.
Yeah, exactly. But also it makes sense for a splitter as well. So two kind of uses, of course, you can kind of build your own city and then separate a smaller city of your opponent. But also some simpler uses. For example, like Setsugentou did over here, you can just create a field, drop a farmer, and then get 2 more city caps. And these are 2 7-pointers right here. So these are extremely powerful moves. Yeah, so actually, if you think about it, like look at this field here on the right for Setsugentou. So the Japanese player won with a 21-point difference, and the majority of this 21-point difference was scored in the last couple of moves. So this farmer, first of all, meepled a 3-point field, and then this city was a 7-point move, and then this city was a 7-point move.
7-point move.
So that's a 17-point meeple overall. It's just so it's basically almost all the difference comes from there.
And yeah, and like you make a good point too. Like it creates if the field coming out of contested, it could be like a huge scoring opportunity because like especially with the amount of end caps that were in late game too, it creates a big field score opportunity in late game. And like I said, kind of made the difference in this matchup here.
Yeah, really did. So just trying to catch up with the chat a little bit. Yes, Elias, hi. We do have commentators' faces, although mine is a bit, it doesn't really occupy a lot of the screen right now. It has to do with something, just having some difficulties with my setup, so at least got something symbolic going on. And of course there will be more faces in the next couple of days, as I'm gonna have more duo commentary pending tomorrow and the day after. So I guess to wrap it up, we're just gonna go and look at the brackets. First of all, let's see what awaits Setsugentou, or who awaits rather. As we said, the Portuguese player with the screen name Leo da Vinci. We don't know when that game was going to happen, but they have to schedule the match between themselves. We will try to cover it if we can. But look at this, Ben, how interesting. So they already played in round 2, and it is the Portuguese expert who defeated the Japanese master 2-0 early on.
I'm curious how the seeding worked, because like Leo Da Vinci was the eighth seed, but he really he blitzed his way through the upper final and gave himself a chance to get into the group stage of Carcassonne Champions League. So yeah, I wonder how the seeding worked out for that.
That's interesting. I think so. Most of the seeding was via random draw. I don't think it was by rating, just because it doesn't add up. But notice, like, it wasn't just the seed, because in the first round, Leo Da Vinci defeated 2-0 against Guilherme Ziegler of Brazil, who is the reigning Brazil national champion, and somebody who is really strong. I don't think they managed to quite achieve the master level on Board Game Arena, but I met them in person, I've spoken to them and, like, played practice game with them, so they definitely have the depth of thought required to become a master, and like to defeat them 2-0, Setsugentou 2-0, and barely lost to Erwin Gall in the upper final. So also they're gonna have a psychological advantage over Setsugentou because they already defeated them 2-0 probably.
I usually I just take is a little psychological advantage, but like for me it's like I just think this is another chance now. So like it's kind of reset in my opinion.
So for you it's the opposite, right? Okay.
Yeah, so... it's kind of like like this person beat me too, but like I think like especially this kind of works for me with Catan. Yeah, somebody could beat you too, but like everything resets. So like it's a new game. So they might have, if someone is beating you multiple times, I think there's more psychological advantage. But if I don't know, if there's one matchup like that, I mean, like I said, I think it resets a little bit. So, but who knows?
Well, I mean, that's a great mindset to have, because, like, if I'm completely honest, it's difficult to, completely forget all the history, and sometimes it can have impact. Sometimes it can have a positive impact, if there's a player who is, like, for whom you are an uncomfortable opponent. But if it's the other way around, then, of course, sometimes it can get in your head.
I mean, me against you, I'm trying to run away whenever I see it. But yeah.
But that's the wrong approach. Of course, we should play as much as possible.
That's definitely the wrong approach. But no,
but interesting, I guess, like there's a difference from Catan, because like Catan is a 4-player game. So maybe tell me more about this. Like these rivalries, one-on-one, they're in Carcassonne, they're just much more direct, because like you lose to a particular person. In Catan, you kind of lose to the rest of the table. Or do you still have like a bit of an element of one-on-one rivalry that could span across multiple games?
I mean, it could, because I mean, especially I'm part of a bunch of competitive Catan discords, and usually it's a game of 4 people, but like there's usually some people who like win a lot compared to others. So like sometimes like when or even too, like if when people get to basic arguments, because it's a diplomatic game, if some people get to arguments, then it becomes like, oh yeah, like these two, they're gonna fight against each other. So there's a part of it when like you're constantly matched up to people too. So it does create those rivalries too. That's how rivalries are born. Like say like in soccer with football with derbies all the time. So like teams, like clubs matching up. So I would say if you're constantly matched up with something, I don't know actually if that happens much in Carcassonne. I mean, that happens for me in the U.S. because like I play with a lot of these players like Crocodile Fundy, Mingo, and I mentioned Arop. So I match up with a lot of these U.S. people with these U.S. championship. But in Catan, I feel like it does happen a good amount too, even though it's 4v4. I know I just said like you kind of reset, but like if you're constantly playing somebody all the time for titles, like tournament finals, or you had a bad experience just in general, like that could create these rivalries in a sense in Catan. So I feel like if you play somebody constantly, there's always going to be that history to remember too. So, but I don't know about these two players, in terms of like Leo Da Vinci and or the Japanese player here.
Well, yeah. Well, of course, we'll find out that soon enough. When exactly, we don't know. They still need to arrange their match, but it should be, within the next week and definitely before the end of the year. And finally, before we wrap up, yes, of course, it's a bit quiet in the chat. Only Elias now, but that's because obviously the majority of my viewers are sleeping. And I think many of us will be watching in the recording. So, This is over for today. Tomorrow we have 3 matches. At the mid-crack of dawn at 8:30 UTC, the Spanish player will be playing against the Taiwanese expert whose name I can't quite pronounce. They're a new player, and well, I leave it up to you for interpretation. This one, I don't think I'll bring myself to stream. I just like my 9 hours of sleep too much. But, but those of you who want to do this, you do have fun. I actually just wanted to ask you, Ben, like, are you planning to stream any of the Carcassonne Champions League games as you did last year, or do you sort of have other plans?
I would like to, especially for the group stage. This weekend I'm kind of busy with like the holidays and that stuff, but I think I will like I said, I had a lot of fun last year streaming all the matches too, especially some memorable moments, which included you, Alexey, when you played a memorable game with Scooty, and there was one memorable moment where Scooty, we all thought me and Nalrahin we all thought Scooty was gonna block off one of your cities. He didn't, and then he completed it right away, and it created like a kind of like a viral oh my god moment in a sense that I showed you before. So it was a lot of fun last year, like streaming it last year. So I hope to do it in the group stage coming up. I don't know about the qualifying matches coming up, but I think the one matchup I'm interested to see coming up though is Crocodile Fundy, the fellow American here against I think is that the Malaysian flag? Or
Yeah,
sure,
Malaysian. Kaika's
So, yeah.
Malaysian. Yeah, so 2 flags which have 13 stripes on them.
Yeah.
Just
good.
one for the US, one for Malaysia. Gonna be quite a tight match, and I might even stream that one. So that could be
Too
interesting.
late for you though.
I know, but you know, anything for the content. Okay, not anything, but we'll see. They will follow an announcement later.
Yeah.
Yes, of course, everything that's in the middle I will stream as well. Miss Penguin versus Dev Dean, the clash between 2 masters should be just absolute fire. And tomorrow, Polo Verde of Italy versus Chomps of Czech Republic. Then in the evening with a special guest, we're going to have another rematch. Daniel Ayala versus Miami in Qualification 1-2. They already had played before, and Miami came... Wait, I forgot who won, actually. I think Miami came on top. Yeah, Miami came on top. And they now meet again, so that should be all very interesting. But anyway, so great to hear that you're still planning to do something for the group stage. For that, of course, I need to remind my viewers to subscribe not only to this channel, unless you already have to, but also follow. Until there is a Vamos Cosmos 7Y9 YouTube channel, which I'm trying to nag you to create. Follow.
I probably should create it, but yeah, I have a Twitch channel.
Yeah, follow Ben on another popular streaming platform. He's very easy to find there. I've already, you've probably some of y'all might already be following Ben. Alrighty, then we should wrap everything up. Anything else we have forgotten about?
Like I said, which match are you streaming tomorrow? Actually.
So everything that's not at the mid-crack of dawn, of course. This one will be so both the Polo Verde versus Chomps, and then Daniela Ayala versus Miami together with a special guest. Both are going to be covered in depth in real time.
We'll look forward to it tomorrow.
Alrighty, yeah. Again, thanks so much for joining. Definitely made it way more entertaining.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much for having me on here. Like I said, I really appreciate like the content you provide to it, and like I said, I appreciate you inviting me here for a stream.
Well, thank you. All right, and then to all the others, thank you all so much for watching, and I'm gonna see you soon.